Welcome, everybody. My name is Vivek Venkatram, a Senior Director, Client Services at Vee Technologies. I'm very excited today. I'm going to spend a few minutes with our Vice President of Professional Services, Jeff Shelmire. Jeff, thanks for making yourself available. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me, Vivek.
You got it. You took the time to write about business continuity in this pandemic environment and how organizations have taken steps to mitigate those risks through this year and what is critical to that success heading into 2021. And you touch on the totality of it, which is what was most interesting to me in terms of the people, processes, and technology. Why did you choose to write about this topic? How do you see it?
What I've noticed, particularly in the healthcare environment, is that technologies such as robotic process automation, really anything to automate processes, has been reaching a boiling point even before the pandemic. But I think what the pandemic did was push it over the top. And what I mean by that is right now everyone is looking at ways from a business continuity standpoint of how do I replace employees or how do I supplement employees with technologies. The pandemic made it really clear that people get sick. And when people get sick, processes break. And when processes break, business can't happen. And so right now, businesses across the globe are looking at ways to supplement their workforce with technology so that in the event something catastrophic does happen, they can stay up and running. The other thing I wanted to tie in is consumer-based pressures. We've heard a long time about consumerism in healthcare, but now telemedicine visits, as an example, are commonplace. And I think the pandemic really put that front and center. And that's something that we expect to stay. And so at Vee Technologies, what we're trying to do is wrap all that together and put solutions forward to our clients that make a lot of sense from a business continuity standpoint, as well as from a consumerism standpoint, and the intersection of those two.
You delve deeply into telehealth and how both the supply side and the buy side are in a downturn, that in a momentum swing that is unavoidable at this point. You also at the beginning of it touch on business continuity and talk about some of those measures more in depth. Let's spend some time there. What have you seen from a business continuity perspective that works in order to ensure a supplier, let's look at it from that vantage point, can position themselves well heading into 2021?
Yeah, well, I mean, something we had a major undertaking at Vee Technologies and shifting from a in-office environment to a work-from-home environment. If you can imagine sending over 3,000 people home who beforehand had never had any experience working from home, there's all kinds of social implications that need to take place and cultural implications that we needed to manage through from a human resource and an operations perspective. But then there was also the very real practical terms of securing 3,500 new PCs in a pandemic when everyone else is trying to buy them too, and securing bandwidth. So we were very fortunate in the respect that we got ahead of it. We kind of saw what was going to come and got out in front of it. But a lot of what we do to ensure business continuity is just that, is that we have fault tolerances in place that we can shift work from one location to another, be it work from home or work from centers. And so we were very fortunate that we were able to do that. The other thing that really played a huge significance in our ability to do this was the trust that we've established with our clients over the course of many years. They knew that we had a reputation for operating in a secure environment, that we would do whatever is necessary to retool our processes to keep their work safe, even in a work from home environment. So that played really well.
You're right. And we've talked about this before. It's fascinating. It's almost beautiful in a sense, the symmetry of it, in that as we took on, and many suppliers like Vee Technologies took on the formidable challenge of decentralizing and moving to a remote environment and finding our own pain points and bottlenecks in the processes and working through those kinks. We were in our clients' world where they were replicating a lot of that same activity and generating a lot of the same ideas and interest and critical thinking around how they can solve that environment on the demand side, in effect, or however you're looking at it. And so I think it's been a fascinating year. And what our readers can take away from the paper that you took the time to write is, how does this look from a people perspective, from a processes perspective, and from a technology perspective? And I think any audience member on either side of the equation, supply or demand side, I should say, are going to be able to find a lot of actionable insights in those three pillars. So thanks for the time to write it in the first place and to speak with us today. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Vivek.
You got it, Jeff.